Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and in this video we're going to be making a Christmas card using the Christmas Gleaming Bundle from the Stampin' Up Holiday Catalog. It comes with this stamp set and these great 2 ornament punches. And today we won't be using the punches, but I want to show you here the coordination of products here and the beautiful designer paper that is in this suite. So you can see different ideas, and here's the stamp set, and we'll be using that today. And let me show you the card. It's a really non-traditional colors for Christmas, but I just love it. This is a piece of that designer paper, and let's go ahead and start putting it together. Okay, I'm going to move this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and do some dry embossing. I've got a piece of copper foil, and I'm going to emboss it with the hammered metal 3D embossing folder. Now, I'll have all the measurements on my blog, so you can hop on over there if you're watching on YouTube to see that. And I'm going to go ahead and emboss this. And I've got an embossing folder plate here that is in the annual catalog for use with our 3D embossing folders, and I'm just rolling it through. And for my machine, I'm just using the plate down here, the big platform, the folder with the paper inside, and then the embossing plate on top. Okay, let's see what it looks like. I just love this folder. It's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so now I have the card base, and I'm going to go ahead and build up on that so we can get this adhered down and it can dry. And there's a little border stamp in this stamp set, okay, a little filigree, and I'm just going to stamp it down the side in tone on tone. So I'm using Pretty Peacock ink, and the card base is a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock. So let me go ahead and stamp this, ink it up. Then I'm going to line up my block with the edge and just go down the side to give it a little something, little embellishment on the side of the card. Okay, so now this piece of foil is going to go right here to the left side, and you have that little stamped border on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of our liquid glue. This is our Tombow liquid glue, multi-purpose glue. I just have it in a different applicator, and I'm going to put it all across the back of this embossed piece so that it will adhere well to the card base. Okay, let me put this down here. And I'm going to hold that for just a second. And it will be adhered there to the side. Okay. All right, so let's set that aside and work on our main image. So you will need a scrap piece of Very Vanilla, and probably maybe about a 1/4 sheet, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I've already done a lot of the pre-work here, but I wanted to show you how I did these holly leaves. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper. I've got my Pretty Peacock ink with some ink in the lid, and I'm going to use it as my palette, and this is Mossy Meadow. Both of these colors are in the designer paper in this suite. And I'm going to take a blender pen, and I'm going to lightly brush on the color onto this image. Now, I did stamp that in Pretty Peacock, and normally we wouldn't be doing any kind of liquid or watercoloring type of technique with that ink, but if it blends in, it's okay. Okay, so I'm not going to cover the whole area. And let me just get started so you can see what I mean. I'm going to pick up some of this ink, and I'm going to brush some of it off here. And it does better if you do like brush strokes. I'm just going down the veins of the leaf here. And it's pulling a little bit of that Pretty Peacock in, but I find that it makes it look nice, okay? It's okay. And I'm just pulling in some of this color to give that green leaf look, okay? But I'm not going to color the whole leaf. You can just see I'm doing like accents, okay? And you can add as much or as little as you'd like. It's just a personal preference, but I've experimented with this quite a bit, and this is what I found works best, the look that I like best for me on my projects. So just be creative and have fun with it. I mean, that's what it's all about. Okay, so I might add a little bit more up here. Okay, so I like that. I'm leaving it alone. Clean off my tip of my blender pen, and I'm going to pick up some of the pretty peacock ink. And this is a pretty bold color, and so I found that when I first started, see how that bold right there, but I'm not going to re-ink it at all. I'm just going to color part of the berries there and kind of bring the color onto the rest of it, just a light shade. Okay, so easy peasy. All right, let me clean this before I forget about it. All right, let me get this ink out of the way. I'll leave it open because I am going to use it again. Now, to add a little more pizzazz to this, I'm using my Wink of Stella pen, and I'm just painting over the top to give it a shimmer. I really like this holly leaf. I like how the stamp is. It's like a sketchy drawing of it. I love those types of stamps. Okay, so there we have that. And then I would take my paper snips and fussy cut those out. And I did 2 of them, and these are already done and cut and dry. So we're going to work with those in just a minute. But first, I want to go ahead and do my sentiment. So I chose this Merry Christmas, and I'm going to ink this up and stamp it on Very Vanilla. Now I can close this ink up, I think. All right, and then I'm going to get my paper snips and just cut out around the edge, and I leave a tiny bit of the Very Vanilla showing, and that's just so I won't cut into the stamp image. It just helps me do, believe it or not, a straighter cut, because I'm not trying to stay on the line, so to speak. Okay, so there is that. And then to back it, I have another piece of the designer paper, and that's going to go over top here. And then that's going to go over this piece of Very Vanilla. So let's go ahead and build that, and we can assemble the card. Okay, it's there. Don't you love these copper accents? Beautiful. And we're going to be using the ribbon, classic weave ribbon with copper foiling on it. And it has Merry Christmas in foil on it. So pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to set that aside. Have all of our pieces ready to go. So now here's the piece of designer paper I decided to use. And before I apply that to the card base, I am going to tie some of this ribbon. Now, I could tell you, measure this and tell you how much ribbon that I use, but it's like I have this thing with this ribbon. I don't want to cut off it between Merry and Christmas. I don't know, that's just my thing, I guess. But I'm going to try to keep that whole Merry Christmas on one end or the other. Okay, so let me pull this, and I'm just going to tie a simple knot. Okay, and maybe I'll get this like I want it. Okay, I'm going to leave that Merry Christmas, the whole word. Okay, so now let's see what I can do here. Okay, now I'm going to take this and come around And it may be upside down, but maybe not. Let's see. No, it's just right. Okay. So see, it worked out just right. I have Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas on both ends. That's just my thing, but okay. Then I don't trim off any of the word, but I cut as close to it as I can because that's quite a bit of ribbon to have there. And I may end up cutting off one of this because that's really long. But I want to be sure and have that Merry Christmas where it can be seen like that. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for the heck of it. I may cut it off later, but you know, we'll see. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and apply this. The sentiment is up here in the center. And I'm going to move this knot a little over to the side. And now I'm going to play with the holly to see how I want that. Okay, I need to come up with this. Leave that there where that can show. And this is going to go here, and this is going to go here. Okay, and so I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to apply that. Here's some. Oops. Okay. Let's get 3 on there to hold it on. For goodness sake. All right. Okay, so that can come down lower. And then I'm going to put this one, I'm going to kind of overlap it a bit, okay? But I'm trying to let all those berries show that we colored. So here's 3 dimensionals again. And we're almost ready to finish assembling, and then I'm going to decide about that ribbon. See if it's too long. I don't know. We'll see. It's a little long there. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. There. That looks better. I'll have that Merry Christmas there, though, so I'm happy. All right. Let's go ahead and put some liquid glue here on the back. And it's going on that hammered metal piece, so you need a good stick. I mean, you could even use tear and tape if you wanted to. Snail, maybe. I just feel better with the liquid glue and hold it down a bit. Okay. All right, and then I would finish off my card by cutting a piece of Very Vanilla to put on the inside and use another one of these sentiments like and Merry Christmas and Be Jolly This Season on the inside. Okay? All right. I hope you will give that a try. If you have any questions, let me know. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com and let me know if I can help you with anything. Take care. Bye-bye.